The United States military is carrying out non-stop strikes against Iran, and the United States Navy is moving into action. Satellite images reveal that Iran is continuing to advance its nuclear program and is moving closer to a bomb. So, as Trump shifts to conducting negotiations with Iran through bombs, the struggle over Hormuz is intensifying. Trump is demanding payment, and Iran is threatening war. Following the escalation in the Gulf, Trump is once again shaking the world. The President of the United States issued a dramatic announcement. The United States military is reinstating the naval blockade on Iran. The United States military is preparing to begin enforcing the blockade in Hormuz as early as today. A new weapon on the battlefield is revealed. The United States has revealed rare operational capabilities and for the first time deployed unmanned vessels against Iran, or, as we call them here on the team, suicide boats. And now, it's official. This has become a regional war because the escalation continues. Saudi Arabia has opened a front against the Houthis. And is London finally waking up and changing the rules of the game against Iran? So, as the United States continues to strike, Iran continues to launch missiles, oil prices surge, and the damage to American bases in the Gulf is revealed. The question must be asked, why is Iran not attacking Israel? And is the former president of Iran a Mossad agent? You were not expecting this, right? But we will bring you all the details very shortly. I'm Meir Pinto, with me is Mati Shoshani, and we are here on Boots on the Ground.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Shemiel, Shabbat, Shmotak, Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops, grave millstone, even the elders that came before them, who taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful light tabernacle of David, and the elder Yashuan. And yeah, things are taking off, and this devil is losing. All right, Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. Yeah, the devil is losing right now. And what I mean, okay, Babylon the Great is losing. You got Russia, who is Edom too, right? About to go heads up. It's all coming together. If you understand what just happened with Lindsey Graham, with Vlad, right? And they go into this this airplane. You know what that was? That was the elder Ayash. I was watching his lesson earlier today. They went into an airplane that Russia sent over to Iran. I have to look into that, Lord willing. But that's huge because that's signifying the coming together of what? World War III. So anyway, let's listen to a little more of this.
Bring you the full truth about what's happening in Israel.
Truth.
And
now,
also
as far as these people bringing any full truth, it's their full truth and it's all a lie. Everything is a lie. And they know they're lying. Even what they were led to believe is the truth, right? They can deviate from that lie straight to you. Know they're lying, and it's okay. And that's the way they operate. So, you got to pick out many, many bones.
About what's happening in our neighborhood, the Middle East. And today is July 4th.
In the neighborhood that you had no part of until you went in there with a Trojan horse and then came out with guns blazing on everybody, stealing the land. It's not in our neighborhood. It's not your neighborhood. Okay? Did God give you claim to the land? You're not the people. Stop it. Ridiculous.
And it appears that the Middle East has...
Let's deal with that right now. The thief, okay? Let's get to it before we move any further. All right? Fair use, too. Fair use, whoever you are. The thief. It's lucky. cometh not. Esau, even Amalek. This is St. John 10 and 10. Esau, even Amalek, the thief cometh not, but for to steal the land, and to kill those that occupy the land, and then to destroy it. And that's what these people do. What are they doing right now in what they call the West Bank, the Golan Heights? They're stealing it. What are the so-called settlers doing? They're stealing the land and killing the people, aren't they? It's just the truth. So you're the thief.
Officially entered a state of active war between the United States and Iran. Well, let's begin.
Between who? TBN, what? Israel. You're speaking on behalf of Israel, Yair. But who is the war between? Why isn't this your war in your neighborhood? What's going on
here? Here on Boots on the Ground, we bring you the full truth about what's happening in Israel and also the full truth about what's happening in our neighborhood, the Middle East. And today is July 14th. And it appears that the Middle East has officially entered a state of active war between the United States and Iran.
Well, here's what's going on. This is huge and it's serious. And everybody's sleeping on it. Okay? But you won't be able to sleep too much longer because this is what's going on. You're in World War III. And every day that shit's growing to where you ain't going to be able to act like it ain't World War III. And it's going to affect everybody. See, everybody acting all good right now. Oh, yeah, World War III. When it affects you, no gas, right? It's just going to start with gas and oil, then food, then the fighting starts here. And then all-out war right here. Guess what? The war is going to touch you too. But everybody seems to think that everything is cool right now. Full-blown war popping off over there, growing by the moment. And the days are getting shorter. So very soon that war is going to be in your face. Right here in Babylon. Understand that.
Well, let's begin. Things are boiling up here in the Middle East. But thankfully, I'm still in Finland until tomorrow or a few days this week. The confrontation between the United States and Iran over the control of the Strait of Hormuz intensified today.
Listen close.
When United States President Donald Trump announced a sharp and unprecedented change in policy regarding the Strait of Hormuz, including a new blockade imposed on Iran. Trump made it clear that the shipping route, which is one of the most important trade routes and a sensitive energy artery to the world, will remain open to every country, but he imposed strict and selective sanctions and restrictions on Iran. He said the Strait of Hormuz is open, and it will remain open, with Iran or without it. Trump declared firmly, according to the plan that was presented, the United States will now be designating the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz. The new mechanism is intended to ensure that every other country in the world continues to enjoy free use of the shipping route, while American enforcement will focus on economically isolating Tehran. As part of Trump's policy that the American taxpayers will not fund the security without the receiving anything in return, the president determined that the United States will collect a reimbursement equal to 20% of every shipment that is transferred through the strait. This payment will be defined as coverage for the costs of security and safety in the volatile region. According to the president's statement, the implementation, the process, and the establishment of the enforcement mechanism will begin immediately. Shortly after Trump's statement, the Iranian military warned that it would not allow Washington to interfere in the management of the Strait of Hormuz.
So they stole the strait from Iran. Iran is over there. We're conducting business. No, you can't come through here. We got control of this. What just happened, two things. Babylon the Great went over there bombing and strafing the shit out of Iran. That's one. And then they're out putting a blockade in the Strait. U.S. blockades Iran. Suicide boats strike. Saudi opens Houthi front. So shit just blew up over there, and we're just getting started. And people don't know over here because they don't want to know and they don't care until it touches you. How long before it touches you? Okay? What does it mean? Just because they strong arm the strait, does that mean commerce is going to go through the strait? No, it's not. It's done. See, what people don't understand is this is the framework of the world's economy being destroyed. Okay? No oil is going to move out of there's a war zone. So that oil ain't moving. Nobody's going to, it's business as usual. No, it's not. It's a war zone. They're fighting over it. Oh, U.S. has a blockade on it. No, ain't nobody going to move no oil through there. And the Bab el-Mandeb. The Bab-el-Mandeb is going to become famous because that's shut down too. Which means all the world's commerce is coming to a grinding halt and it's going to affect everybody. And they know that. It's all part of the plan. If you understand what's going on from the top down. All right, anyway, let this fool talk a little more. Let's see what's going on in Yemen. Salaki. All right, because you have to know that it's going down right now. And what to do, what to be ready for.
The background to the United States President's announcement lies in the rising tensions in the Persian Gulf over the past 24 hours. The tensions reached their peak
24 hours ago. So this just getting started, and they're going back and forth, tit for tat, tearing shit up over in the region. Okay? Destroying the world's economy. Matter of fact, I need to look at the stock market.
Following Iranian statements that they were closing the Strait of Hormuz, while also beginning once again to collect protection money from ships that are passing through it.
Protection
The situation on the ground became especially explosive when Tehran increased its naval presence and attacked ships, leading the United States to decide to take offensive action. Just hours after President Donald Trump's dramatic announcement, the United States Navy prepared for immediate enforcement. American warships will begin enforcing a tight naval blockade near Iran's ports and will take control of the Strait of Hormuz area as early as tonight. This move is effectively a reversal of the June ceasefire agreement.
It's a reversal of what they already agreed to, but now you're going back on it. What is going to happen to the region? It's so volatile right now. Nobody can ship oil. No oil is, and if any oil did do anything, somebody tried to, what is Iran going to do? They're going to sink it. No, we're at war. They can do that. Nobody gets no oil. You understand? And there's a war going on. Nobody gets no oil, and there's war. Evil. Bad times are here.
The announcement that the mechanism will be implemented immediately places the United States military.
Here's the question. How soon does this affect Babylon the Great, right here on the ground? Okay? No barges going through. That affects everyone on the globe. Okay? When there's no commerce, there's got to be war to try to get that right. And then negotiations, and then they figure it out. Reshuffling the chessboard, if you will, but all of this takes time. And guess what? We might not recover. And guess what? We won't.
On a direct collision course with the naval forces of Iran's Revolutionary Guards. Iran is expected to view this move as a declaration of economic and military war. Meanwhile, Within the Revolutionary Guard's internal struggle at the top of the Iranian leadership, everything is intensifying for the regime. The military confrontations surrounding the Strait of Hormuz and the negotiations with the United States are deepening the division between the pragmatic camp and the Revolutionary Guards, while reshaping the struggle over succession.
Now, what this guy's job is to make the fight about Iran and the United States and Israel has nothing to do with it. It's just them. We're not in this thing.
Power in Tehran. In recent days, the internal struggle within the Iranian leadership has intensified against the backdrop of the conflict between Iran and the United States over control of the Strait of Hormuz. The United States continues to hold quiet discussions through the mediators with Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who are presenting a more moderate approach and a desire to reach an agreement. On the other side, the Revolutionary Guards are displaying a hardline position and a desire for escalation. Iran wants to be the party that determines the rules of navigation inside the Strait of Hormuz.
Here we go. That don't sound right. So anyway, let me get us off of this. Shit is crazy over there right now. It's some he say, she say type shit. What's up with the Houthis? Israel-USA war with Iran. See?
Surface to sea missiles or other missiles. It can attack submarines that they would have in the sea and attack the shadow fleet of the Iranians, all without endangering a single life of an American sailor or an American personnel individual. And that is a lot. That says a lot in the change of this
war. What about
war.
the Israeli
And I want to remind you, this already happened in the air. The United States already deploys to a great degree of success unmanned aircraft, but not just expensive ones, not just Reaper drones, also cheaper drones. Drones like the Lucas drone that were reverse engineered from Iranian technology and built better and more effective to be used against Iran. By the way, Israel has done the same thing. And really think about this for a second. There's this very, very false narrative that's being played out where the underdog, Iran, or in the Ukraine-Russia war, Ukraine, or in the Israeli war against Hezbollah, or the terrorist organization or the country that's fighting against a larger adversary, in the Ukrainian example, where that country, just by the nature of the fact that they are the underdogs, are able to create more creative solutions. But I want to challenge that concept of thought for just a second. Think about this. Israel and the United States, or I should say the other way around.
He's talking like an Israeli. Just proud. Right? Proud as he can be. Like, we can't be stopped. And everything we do is going to win, going to prosper. And that's not even close to being true.
The United States and Israel have some of the most robust, most creative, most effective pipelines in bringing to market effective weapon systems.
Really?
This is on the sea, on the ground, and...
That's why you're getting your asses kicked over there by a bunch of niggas in sandals and turbans.
Air. We've seen it with drones, with full-scale combat aircraft of every generation. We've seen it with tanks. We've seen it with unmanned...
This guy is talking like you didn't lose the war to begin with. Whatever we're watching right now is all right, got your ass whooped in round one. Now what are you doing? You're going to sneak around the back. No, you got your fucking ass whooped. The devil is losing. Okay? You can say what you want to. That doesn't change the truth on the battlefield. Okay? Iran is dug in there at home. All you can do is try to bring something to bear over there, and the terrain is too fucked up. You ain't got nothing to work with over there. And in a minute, that motherfuckers would be over here striking, and then what happens to over there then?
Aerial vehicles or aerial drones, but also on the ground and also in the sea. And think about this. Given time, creativity, and cash, and we have all of those things, don't you think that the United States military industrial complex can outproduce and outperform and outcreate weaponry systems?
No. That bullshit is over with. Everything is turned upside down, and this don't mean nothing new. All right? I'm going to go ahead and close with this. Stand now. Because that's a magic spell. You're trying to scare somebody with your witchcraft. Isaiah 47 and 12 with the NIV. Keep on then with your magic spells and with your many sorceries which you have labored at since childhood. Perhaps you will succeed. Perhaps you will cause terror. Maybe they, what? Your magic spells, your charms, your enchantment, maybe they can make someone afraid of you. Perhaps you may inspire terror. Try that again, devil, because it's not working. Okay.
Against the Iranian regime? And I think the answer should be an obvious yes. Do you think the country that's able to deploy the best aircraft in the world, able to deploy the best naval air...
Getting your ass kicked by drones. Getting your ass kicked by drones and shaheeds. Getting your ass kicked. Right? Isn't that why you stopped the war? Oh, stop, time out. You're talking all this shit that doesn't mean anything anymore. What about the other side? They ain't got nothing. Oh, they don't have anything. They don't have... Whatever they got is whooping your ass. 12, 3, and 10. Beat your plowshares into better missiles, swords, and your pruning hooks into ICBMs, spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Let Iran say, I'm in this fight. I'm not backing down. Let's go. Let's go. You got me in the corner. Let's go. Let's see. You know. Let's see who's gonna hang. And guess what? I already told you who's right. We're hearing this is some one-sided shit, and this guy is trying to scare somebody. What's going on the battlefield? Not here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. You better be afraid of us. That don't work.
Naval vessels in the world, the best, armored vehicles, the best of everything in the world can't deploy also unmanned vehicles? The answer is they can. And what the Iranians tried to do to the U.S. is now being used once again against them. What they thought would be the tipping point in the battle in using unmanned aircraft, unmanned naval vessels.
Right now, that's how they got their ass. Well, we have that stuff too. We'll bring it on. Let's see how well it's going to do.
Now being used against them, and at a cost that is a fraction of any other kind of military.
You're behind the 8 ball there, buddy. This is damage control
operation. And I want to add one layer of thought here, and we're going to talk about this at length in an upcoming Weekend Explainer. There's also this misnomer that the United States and Israel don't know how to do things effectively when it comes to the finances of war versus an adversary like Iran. And I tell you that too is untrue. Both the U.S. and Israel are free markets. We understand how to purchase systems. We understand how to build systems.
Let's see what happened at the airport.
To visit.
Lock it, bear with me. Baba the shovel. Happened at the Yemeni airport.
The website. Hit the subscribe button and share this video.
Give
with as
us
many
your
people as
lies,
possible.
buddy.
Now let's go to the Israeli angle in this conflict, because Iran is still avoiding direct fire at the Jewish state in the current wave. This is not a gesture of calm. Tehran understands that an attack against Israel could bring into a campaign an air force that has already proven its ability to operate inside Iran and strike its defensive systems. Keeping Israel outside the confrontation also allows Iran to present the campaign as a struggle.
shouldn't Israel be over there doing something? They ain't doing nothing because they don't want to get hit back, which is smart.
Between Tehran and the United States over sovereignty and freedom of navigation. Israeli involvement would make it easier for Washington to build broader support and would turn the confrontation into an open regional war. Israel is monitoring the strikes, transferring intelligence, and maintaining defensive and offensive readiness. The message from Jerusalem is that there is no desire to enter the campaign without necessity, but an attack on Israel or an American request for assistance could quickly change this equation. The confront
If Babylon the Great lobbed a cruise missile over there and then blamed it on Iran, then what? Give them some of their own medicine. Yeah, we can get you in this. We can get you in this war.
has already expanded southward. The Houthis accused Saudi Arabia of striking the runway at Sana'a International Airport in order to prevent an Iranian aircraft from landing there.
Now this is huge. An Iranian aircraft that's carrying Yemeni officials back from the funeral. So the Yemeni are like this. America asked them to blow up their own airport to stop this plane from landing with their own Yemeni on there. And that's what got this thing cracking. Okay? So just this, when you understand this situation right here, shows you World War III opening up and other people being pulled in. Understand what this situation is. So they went to the funeral, the Yemeni. They're on their way back because the funeral takes weeks or whatever. About to land, so they had some officials, as a favor to the U.S., destroy the airport so that they couldn't land. As a thumbing of the nose, so to, if you will. All right, so let's look at that again because you got to know about that.
We changed this equation.
Listen.
The confrontation has already expanded southward. The Houthis accused Saudi Arabia of striking the runway at Sana'a International Airport in order to prevent an Iranian aircraft from landing there. The aircraft was redirected to Hodeidah, and the Houthis announced that a response was coming. Shortly afterwards, Saudi Arabia reported that its defense systems had intercepted ballistic missiles launched from Yemen. Additional reports pointed to attempted strikes against King Khalid Air Base, Prince Sultan Air Base, and other civilian and military facilities. This front is especially dangerous because it connects the war over Hormuz to the old conflict between Saudi Arabia and the Houthis.
That is World War III coming together. The Most High is doing this. How did? Oh, well, let's shoot the plane. Let's not shoot down the plane. Let's shoot up the runway. What is that? That's the Most High being creative and doing what? Forcing the hand, getting this thing. Joel 3. Joel 3 and 2. I, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, will also gather, that's the gathering, all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. I will gather all nations and bring them down. I will gather the armies of the world, the Saudi Arabian army, the Yemeni, the Houthi rebels, into the valley of Yehoshaphat. That's what we're watching. Gather all nations, the armies of the world. Okay, that's what this is.
Riyadh spent years trying to leave the war in Yemen. Now, one Iranian aircraft and one Houthi threat could pull it directly back in. London is also changing direction. The British government activated new powers that make support for assistance to all the receipt of benefits from the Islamic Revolutionary Guards illegal. In practice, this is a step very close to a full designation of the organization as a terrorist group. The British connected this move to the plots against the regime opponents and attacks against Jewish and Israeli sites. One organization operating in Europe claimed responsibility for 7 attacks in Britain, including the burning of ambulances belonging to the Jewish Emergency Organization.
Now what are we looking at right now? This is World War III in London, in England. So that's not coming to Babylon. It's the mother of Babylon right here. This ain't coming here. That's not on the battlefield in the Middle East. This is in England. This is the war, right? Being fought in the Middle East, being also fought on the land, right, of the Assyrians. Okay. It says, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them. Okay. Okay, so here, I'm going to read 30. 2nd Ezra 15 and 30. Also the Carmanians, the Iranians, Aryans, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. With who? The Arab nations, the dragons. Join battle with them. And with great power with them, and shall waste a portion. Here it is, a portion of the land of the Assyrians. This portion of the land of the Assyrians is talking about those Gulf states that belong to these different French, English, American vassals, if you will. Saudi Arabia and all these little made-up countries, right? That's the portion of the Assyrians, right? And then down here, from the land of the Assyrians. Okay, so a portion of the land of the Assyrian could be the mother of Babylon, or the mother of America. From the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege. That's what's going on over here. Britain, including the burning of ambulances belonging, who did that? Okay, those them Arabs. The dragons of Arabia came over here and did this in England. The dragons of Arabia are going to come over here and do this in Babylon. Get it?
Belonging to the Jewish Emergency Organization in Golders Green. Authorities in London believe that the Quds Force stood behind the network.
And that's how the war.
Check this out.
That's how the war is fought all around the world. There ain't Arabs here in Babylon. There ain't Iranians here. Everybody's here. Stupid. So that's how the world war is going to be fought.
And finally, the unusual story of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad demonstrates how deep the suspicion inside Iran has become. Because according to reports, Israel spent years attempting to cultivate the former Iranian president as a possible asset for the day after the current regime.
Skullduggery. That's how deep. See, the president of Iran is a Israeli asset. That's World War III. Crazy.
It was claimed that he secretly met intelligence officials outside Iran, including during visits to Budapest, and that Israel helped finance some of his travel. It was also claimed that at the beginning of the war, the compound where he was staying was struck, and that agents rescued him at a vehicle and took him to a safe house. Ahmadinejad later left the location, and according to the reports, he's now being held under house arrest by the intelligence branch of the...
All of this. What is today? Today is War and Rumors of War 2. And this is not the World War III Daily Update, but we're finna get wars and rumors of war. We have to. Where's the famous phrase? Boom. Wars and Rumors of War. NIV, where the NLT says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Rumors, threats, news, reports, fame. You're going to hear of nothing but these stories. What's Yair doing? He's telling these stories. Right? Here's what's happening with the war. Well, it's an update on here's a war report. Well, we have the evening news with a war. Here's a rumor.
Revolutionary Guards Corps. Neither Israel nor Iran has confirmed this story, so it must be treated with caution. But the fact that the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps suspects a former president of cooperation with Israel exposes a regime that is no longer certain that it can trust its commanders.
This is propaganda. Guess what, Iran? Your president is on our side. Nice try, buddy. I think you should off him. Kill your own president. Really? Damn devil. The devil knoweth that he hath but a short tongue. Second Corinthians 2 and 11. But Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and close. We pray that the elect ratifies your brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom.